And then there's the conversation about the wide receiver group. 3 of them in the top 10. I mean, the question is where does Adunes, could he even last to the Bears at 9? I know Bears fans are dreaming of him winding up there at 9. Malik Nabers had a heck of a pro day, and it's asked and answered here how, Marvin Harrison Jr. pretty much let everyone at the combine know, or even asked permission to not work out at the pro day of the teams that were interested in him. And I even heard that he told scouts at last year's pro day, where he did work out with C.J. Stroud, get a good look in, essentially, because I'm not doing this next year as far as I'm concerned. And then there's, but still, that lingers as a question as to whether Nabers could potentially leapfrog him and be the first wide receiver taken in the draft. What are you hearing, Albert?
Yeah, I don't think that's likely. I don't think it's impossible, though. They're different, they're just different types of players. I think people are reading this the wrong way. I don't think Harrison's falling. I don't think there's a problem there, as much as I think Nabers has really sort of proven himself to be in that class. And where I struggled a little bit with this was, it feels like some of it's like with Caleb Williams and Drake May, right? Those guys have been on the radar for so long that we've built them up for so long that all that's left to do is tear them down. And I feel like the same sort of thing was happening with Marvin. But the more I've talked with teams, it's a little bit different for them. It's Marvin Harrison is still perhaps the best receiver prospect to come along since 2011 or even 2007 with Calvin Johnson, right? What this is with Malik Nabers is more, maybe we have A.J. Green and Julio Jones in this year's class, right? Like, you think back to 2011, and that's been the sort of reference point with Marvin. He's the best since 2011.
Mm-hmm.
You remember there were 2 guys that year that were that good. And I think that's what's happening with Malik Nabers now. And like, teams are looking at him and this is like a once every few years type of guy, the same way Marvin is, So I think that's more of what's happened over the last few weeks. And they're very different styles of receiver. And I think one thing that's interesting about it is where Marvin has created that opening, right? Like, in saying, like, I'm preparing for my rookie year, right? Which I think that whatever team that gets him is going to be so happy with that, because he's going to be in football shape and ready to play the sport rather than run a 40. So it makes sense logically that he's doing it that way. Malik Nabers has really taken that on as a challenge. And I know teams that have met with him have said, like, he really views this as, like, I'm taking this as a competition, and I'm going to show everyone how good I am. And I'm going to show everyone that you are not missing out if you take me over Marvin Harrison. So it's sort of interesting that way.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.